자, 일단 한 바퀴 돌았는데 이번은 알았고요. 괜히 뺑뺑 돌아야 되니까는 방송 키기 전에 확인했고. 잠깐만, 약 좀 먹고 올게.
팔라파티비님 추천 감사합니다.
아이고, 어서오세요. 어서들 오십시오. 잠깐 약 좀 먹고. 아, 이딴 거 하나 찾겠다고 아주. 근육 이완제요. 목 근육이 뭉쳐가지고 머리가 아파서.
Hey, you.
근데 이거 이완제 먹으면
I can't lose them.
멀미 나요. 밥은 당연히 먹고 하는 거죠. 먹고 켰습니다. 거기 서, 이 자식아. 없어졌겠지? 응. 야씨, 야, 이 아줌마 이것들 봐라. 길막을 있다고 그래? 아, 뭐 빨리 하. 아, 운동 안 한 지 오래됐어. 운동 안 한 지
Move over.
10년은 된 것 같은데. 방송하면서부터 운동을 안 했어요.
Too many.
방송이 문제야, 하여간.
Too many masks. The murderer could be standing there watching me and laughing.
Yes, Detective Locke?
The murderer got away. I'm coming back, but it looked like he dropped something when he climbed the first wall.
All right, I'll go and see. For my part, unfortunately, I could do nothing for the victim. He was already dead. I have already alerted the Italian authorities. I will see what I can find while I wait for them.
아, 죽었다고? 누가 죽어? 이런 씨. 사건이 하나 더 있네 여기서. 안경이 왜 이게 왜 여기
A
있지?
pair of women's glasses. Was Ratchet planning a new
이거 모로
identity?
안경이잖아요. 아니 이게 모로 안경이 왜 여기 있는 거야? 이제 와서?
There must be several tens of thousands of dollars in this bag. The victim was stabbed. Apparently,
칼에
the
찔렸다.
method of choice in this case. A bunch of keys. If it
벨기에?
seems likely, Mr. Wadi is a resident of
이거
Geneva.
벨기에 국기 맞죠?
Then one of these may belong
아닌가?
to his home there. Various clothes in his suitcase. Mr. Wadi was obviously planning to leave this city.
아, 쫓던 놈은 와지가 아니고 지금 죽은 애가 와지구나. 그럼 쫓던 놈은 와지를 죽인 애고.
Mr. Waddy's Swiss passport. I'll see if I can find a match
저거
on the
국기가
internet to
스위스였어?
confirm his identity.
엄청난 배경 지식을 요구하네.
I do not think
나이가
that's the right answer. I must admit,
54세야?
I'm not right this thing.
어? 스위스가
That
아니네.
is not a good answer.
스위스만데? 아, 이름이 와다구나. 씨, 아지지 와디. 54세?
This is wrong.
45세.
But
그렇지.
that's the right answer.
뭐지? 다 조사한 거 아닌가? 일로 가지네? 이러면 너무 복잡해지는데? 야, 여기서 레칫이 나오네요 이제.
A false passport with Ratchet's picture. Clark, Ratchet. How many others? Now he will become Enrico Caldo. It appears Ratchet
Enrico
changed his
Caldo.
identity as often as his socks. A false Clark. It appears.
암스트롱 사건 몸값이지.
This direction looks promising.
공범이 대체 몇 명인 거냐?
I'm sorry I couldn't catch the suspect, Mr. Poirot.
There is no need to apologize, mademoiselle. Your efforts were marvelous. I found some information about Mr. Waddy.
Did you access the FBI database?
Don't worry, my little gray cells were enough. However, the database may confirm the origin of these banknotes.
No need. I included them when I continued my investigation.
Excellent.
That's it. No rookie mistake there.
Score. 1 for the good guys. That is a great detective job.
Mr. Poirot, it's part of the ransom money from the Armstrong case.
You are surprised?
I suppose not. So Ratchet had it in an account at the Banque du Lac.
It would seem so. He knew the serial numbers on the banknotes could be traced, and he could not spend it, so he stashed it there.
But now he's run low, something he didn't count on. He hopes enough time has passed so he can begin to spend the ransom money.
There is something else he didn't count on.
What's that?
He didn't count on you, Detective Locke, and your tenacity.
Thank you. But we are still left with a murderer on the loose.
But we progress. We know Mr. Waddy had an appointment with Ratchet. He had a bag full of money and a passport with Ratchet's photo. But a new name. What is your opinion about the passport?
I discovered that he was arrested in Armenia for trafficking in stolen art and was supposed to be arraigned in January. Once again, he changed his identity and vanished.
You are correct, mademoiselle. He also told me that he was threatened, and that threatening letter we found in his room was real. He had to disappear once again.
The bag isn't very big. He could have easily run away with it. If he didn't take it, it was deliberate. He wasn't interested in the money. If the motive wasn't money, it leaves passion or revenge for motive.
So, Detective Locke, what do you think? Passion or revenge?
Why not?
Revenge seems like an obvious motive to me. The murderer carefully followed Wadi from the fountain to the new meeting place despite Wadi's precautions. That is cold and careful.
Excellent. We cannot yet know for certain, but that is a sound psychological analysis. We have an idea of the motive. It is the same motive as that of our 12 would-be murderers on the train. But we still must know who was under that mask.
나
I
이쪽이
think Wadi's
가깝다
killer
보는데.
is also Ratchet's murderer. The motive for both deaths was revenge, and both are related to the Armstrong case through the ransom money.
Exactly. So our murderer is linked to the Armstrong case. The money is linked to the Armstrong case. But these glasses that I found in the bag, they must have something to do with this case too.
Wait, those glasses mean something to me.
모로의 안경이라니까? 그래.
Wait, I know. I've seen these. They belong to Susan Moreau.
야,
They
이 안경이
were.
이제서
I remember
나와.
seeing them in her bedroom.
기억력
But
테스트
they were
오지게
gone
하네.
the day she died.
I remember the press saying that the nurse had committed suicide.
I've always believed otherwise, and the glasses are proof that she was killed by Ratchet or his accomplice. He took those glasses. I've always had a gut feeling, but now, Mr. Poirot, now I have proof Suzanne was innocent.
Yes, you do. But the question I ask myself is this. Why did Ratchet keep these glasses?
Ratchet used to leave fake evidence at the scene of his crimes to incriminate others. He did the same thing to frame Suzanne.
Possibly. But keeping an object belonging to his victim as a souvenir of the murder, that is the behavior of a fetishist.
Now that you mention it, in my investigation at the time, I had already found Daisy's hair clip in Ratchet's cabin, and now we find Suzanne's glasses in a bag for Ratchet.
2 objects from 2 victims of Ratchet. He is a trophy hunter.
Okay, we managed to clear up some of the gray areas. What now?
The bag only contained a fraction of the $1 million ransom of the Armstrong case. The rest must still be in a secure place. I will make a wager with you that it is the Banque du Lac in Geneva where Mr. Wadi worked.
Wadi was also the keeper of Ratchet's secrets. They were killed by the same murderer.
Agreed. Well, there is nothing more we can do here except wait for the police. Prepare yourself for a long evening with the police. We have a lot of explaining to do.
And after that?
A visit to Geneva, perhaps?
Here you are at last. I was worried about you.
We just left the police station. We had to explain to the Italian police that we were not murderers.
What? Another murder?
I'll tell you when we're underway. Are all passengers and staff aboard?
Yes, everyone is here. We were waiting for you.
Excellent. Let's not waste any more time. We have to make a longer than usual stop in Lausanne.
What? How long?
long enough to do a little banking in Geneva.
한참 멀은 거야? 아씨.
But this is madness. A 13th murderer of Ratchet?
Mon ami, he was not well liked.
But Monsieur Michel would have seen anyone enter Ratchet's compartment. And there were another 10 people milling about, taking their turn at stabbing him. How could they not notice an uninvited killer?
The 13th killer could have acted when Michel was smoking on the platform at Vinkovsky. But even after the train departed, Michel was absent from his post at the end of the corridor several times the night of the murder. I must know where he really was and when. Yes, he most certainly returned to the train.
How can you be sure?
It's obvious. I mean, I hope Mr. Poirot agrees.
Please continue, Detective Locke.
All the
이거지,
passengers
이거지.
and crew are still aboard. If the killer of Mr. Wadi had remained in Venice, we would have noticed right away that someone was missing, and we could have alerted the authorities.
I promise you, I made certain everyone was aboard before we embarked.
Book, calm yourself.
Calm myself? But we're back where we started. There is still another murderer on my train. Wait a moment. Can I change my mind about my verdict? Can we turn everyone over to the police?
Everyone? Including ourselves?
What? No. No. It's a nightmare.
Let us take it step by step, my friend. We can start by eliminating all of the members
담배
of
좀 하나
the
펴
Ratchet
보겠습니다.
jury.
계속 전자담배 폈더니 머리가 아파. 맞습니다. 레시대 배시면 사이 112명. 드라곤 위프 아버스넌 포스카렐리 하드먼 하버드 맥퀸 마스터먼 미셸. 백작 부인 아니고 백작. 둘, 셋, 넷, 다, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉. 네버넘도 포함 10. 그 다음에 슈미터 요리서 11. 그럼 얘로 쳐야 되는 거야? 올슨이 뭐였지? 얘가 아닌 것 같은데? 씨, 기억이 안 나네 또. 이거 이렇게 쳐야 되나?
I do not
아니네.
think that's the right answer.
올슨이야 올슨 그러면. 올슨이 기억이 안 나갖고.
I'm right again. That happens to me.
If we eliminate the 12 jurors, we are left with 7 additional suspects.
7? It's still too many.
I agree. We must reduce our list.
Excuse my impatience, Poirot. It's as if my beautiful train is cursed. Can you exonerate any of the 7?
용의자일 수 있는데 충분히. 아니겠죠.
Yes. Book worked hard to get me aboard the train. He is definitely not a suspect.
용의자일 수 있어요.
Think,
씨.
Poirot, that
얘
is
진짜
not a
용의자일
good
수 있는데.
answer.
얘
I
감정
think it's
있는데.
Aziz's murder.
근데 이건 이 게임에서는 이 둘은 무조건 제끼고 가려고 그래.
Mademoiselle Locke
의사까지
cannot
3명은
be
제끼고 가려고 그래.
She pursued Mr. Waddy's murderer.
웃긴 게요. 추리상 의문점이 남아있는데도 불구하고 그 단서를 필요 없는 거라고 하면서 제끼고선 추리를 하거든요, 이 주인공이. 근데 결국엔 틀렸어. 결국엔 지금 틀려가지고 추리가 연장이 됐는데 주인공이 퍼펙트하지가 않은데 얘의 그 생각과 고정관념을 따라가야 돼, 이 게임이. 이게 좀 아쉬워요. 얘도 아니겠지. 이게 주인공의
Dr.
그
Constantine alerted me
생각대로
to the
가면 그냥
13th
얘네 셋은 아니야.
He is not a suspect. That was easy.
I have 4 suspects left who I must now examine more closely. Miss Nielsen, Monsieur Maury, Monsieur Fauché, and Countess Andrény.
One of my employees? Suspicious?
All 3 got off the train in Venice to restock supplies. Any one of them might have slipped away without being noticed.
I suppose. But what of Countess Andrény?
근데 봐봐, 이제
She
칼이
is
다른 칼이
clear
나왔대.
of the
그럼
first
어제도 얘기했지만
But we know little of her movements here in Venice. So
다른 칼이
we
나왔으면 그
still
칼이
have
없어요.
4 suspects
아니
to
보통
interview.
살인 사건이
Detective
일어났어.
Rock?
I
근데
can't join you, Poirot. My chief
범인을
saw something on
밝혔는데
the
그
news
뒤에
about the case and my involvement. He's demanding an
죄송합니다.
explanation.
제가 다시 부검을
If I wanna
해보니까
keep my badge,
자상이
I
하나
have
더
to call
있었어요.
him.
근데 다른 칼이에요.
Then
이랬으면
you must do so by all means.
I'm sorry.
이 열차가
No need to
눈사태에
apologize. I
의해서
understand.
운행을 못하고 멈춰 있을
I'll make the
정도면
call for
도망도
my
못 가고.
compartment. If you're looking for me, I'll be
그러면은
there.
칼을 밖에다 버릴 수도 없고 이 열차 안에서 무조건 두 번째 칼을 먼저 찾아야 정상이거든요.
But I must. There
근데
is,
그거
of course,
찾지는 않고
one other suspect with a
피해자가
murder, the ransom.
일정표에 누굴
You mean
만나기로 했었으니까
Detective
일단
Rock?
거기 가서
Then
만나려고
who
했던
did she
사람에 대해서
chase?
조사를 해보자.
Who
요지랄을
killed
하는
Aziz?
게 이게
We
말이
both
안
saw
되고
the masked
말이 안 돼
murderer
이거.
standing over the body.
이제 와서 그 사람을 확인하고 나서 다시 돌아와서 이제서 범인을 찾는다? 이거 웃긴 게 원래 추리의 기본은 시신 먼저 확인을 하고 시신에서 사인을 확인하고 그 다음에 그 사인에 의한 그 범행 도구를 먼저 찾는 게 우선이거든요. 이 두 개가 먼저 제일 우선인데 칼을 안 찾아, 이 병신 게임은. 자, 그러면 지금 여기서 칼이 없다면 어딨겠어? 주방에밖에 없잖아. 그러면 주방 그 요리사 3명 중에 1명이라는 얘긴데 그러면 게임이 약간 좀 앞부분은 정말 잘 만들었는데 뒤에가 약간 좀 부실하게 급조된 느낌이에요.
Doctor, I need to question Countess Andrény.
I'm afraid that won't be possible, Mr. Poirot. The Countess had an anxiety attack when we arrived in Venice. She was terrified the police would come for her and her husband, despite how you concluded your investigation. I had to give her a sedative. She has been sleeping since.
You have stayed with her all the time we were in Venice?
Count Andrény begged me to watch over her. I have not left this room.
You're the reason she's in this state.
Book voted to absolve you all. I accepted his verdict.
I told her. I tried to reason with her. What she has already suffered, the strain of these last few days, it was too much.
I understand, Count. It's quite all right. I have the answers I came for. Ah, Michel, I have a few more questions to ask you, if you will allow me.
Anything, Monsieur Poirot. We are in your debt.
뭘 신세를 져. 니네가 범인인 거를 밝혀줬는데.
Please tell me your movements when we were stopped at Venice Station.
Once the compartments were cleaned and the linen refreshed, I stayed in my quarters.
Did you notice anything special? Comings and goings?
Monsieur Bouc had asked everyone to stay in their compartments. I would occasionally walk the train to ensure everyone was comfortable. Oh, I saw Monsieur Maury was all alone loading his crates of provisions. A great chef like that, reduced to petty labor, I would have helped him. But
머리를
Monsieur Bouc
조사해야겠네.
had ordered me not to leave the train for any reason. So, Monsieur Maury was forced to labor alone.
Let us review the actual timeline of the night of Ratchet's murder, not the one manufactured to hide your crime.
I left the train in Minkowski for a smoke. Then I resumed my post. That was the truth. The train departed on schedule. But then, of course, an avalanche of snow blocked the tracks. At 12:45, Madame Hubbard and I met in her compartment to discuss how to adapt our plan.
Due to the snow and Poirot.
The little play we had staged for you had to be rewritten. I left her compartment at approximately 1:15.
Then the curtain went up. Calls in the night, the red kimono, all for my benefit.
And all for nothing, as it turned out.
Do not blame yourself, Michel. I am the theater critic no playwright wants to see in the audience.
자, 모로 밝읍시다. 모로자. 잠깐만. 요리사 일 잠깐만.
Please,
What?
did you?
Monsieur Bouc, I would... Oh, I saw
모리구나. 모로가 아닌
Miss-
거야. 깜짝이야. 씨.
You play well. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Thank you. Many years of piano lessons thanks to my mother. I try to play in a few clubs in Paris when I get the chance, but as you can see, it hasn't made me rich. What can I do for you?
Conversation only. Tell me about your time in Venice.
I had Monsieur Bouc's permission to see my sister. She lives in Marghera, just outside of Venice. She had a baby a few weeks ago. This was my first chance to meet my new nephew.
Monsieur Bouc gave you permission?
Yes, you can ask him.
Most assuredly, I will. What time did you leave and when did you return?
I left around 9:10 p.m. I was back by 10:45 p.m. When I got back, Hotaru was in a lot of pain. I gave him a back massage.
That would have been enough time to kill Monsieur Wadi and return to the train. May I see your knives?
Of course. They are here.
If you don't mind.
Help yourself. They are under the bar counter.
Tell me again about your poker game the night of the murder.
It's a regular
그래,
game
이날이
to help
중요한 거야,
relax
이런
after a long
이날.
day. Let's see, we
꽂히고
started
술
around
먹었을
11
때
p.m. We took a short
누군가
break
술
in
먹자고
Minkowski.
제의를 했을
Hotel,
거고
Pierre and I.
먹고 두
The
명이
game
빠졌을
finished
때
up
혼자
around
가서
2 a.m.
이
We all
날이
had
좀 중요한
quite a
날.
bit to drink. Ah, yes. I left for about 10 minutes to refrigerate champagne for the next day. That must have been around 1 a.m.
그게 또 공교롭게도 1시네.
None of these come close to the wounds on either body.
잠깐만, 여기 봅시다.
You told Fauché he could go into Venice?
Marghera, actually. Not so far away. It was his only chance to see his sister. He's been working every train for weeks. There is never time to see the new baby.
Enough, Book. Your heart does you credit, but your common sense, it...
I know. But it's fine. Isn't it? He did come back.
Oh, it's fine, as you say. Unless he saw the baby, then killed someone else and returned to the train.
But that's monstrous.
Murder is always monstrous, my friend. Good evening, Monsieur Mori. May I have a moment of your time?
칼을
I have a few
이제서 찾고
questions
있어?
to ask you.
공도인멸 다 할 수 있게. 씨.
As long as you don't mind if dinner is ruined.
I promise to be as brief as possible. What did you do while we were stopped in Venice?
With Freya's help, I loaded fresh produce for the next part of our journey. Then, you may not believe this, but my job requires a lot of physical labor. My back suffers. Fortunately, Jean has become quite adept at separating my vertebrae.
As you may know, I have solved the murder of Monsieur Ratchet.
That is a shame.
I beg your pardon?
The bastard sent my steak tartar back, telling John I was to burn it.
I will add it to the list of his crimes. One wound on Monsieur Ratchet's body was struck by a very sharp, thin-bladed knife. We haven't found it yet.
You think one of mine was used?
I'd like to have a look if you don't mind.
In that drawer.
종류가 많네.
Impressive set of knives, but their blades are too wide to have been used for the crime. Tell me about your poker game the night of the murder.
We started around 11 p.m. when John finished his shift. We played until around 2 a.m. From what I remember, it's a bit vague.
You played without a break.
Actually, we did break once for a smoke. John, Pierre, and I. When we stopped in Vinkovsky.
When was that?
Around midnight?
Saffron. It must be worth a small fortune.
남의 방을 막 열어요 이제는.
The box is secured by some sort of locking mechanism. The design is formed by 3 commas. What is the word in Japanese? Tamoe. And it's obviously missing a piece. Good evening, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I talk to you for a moment?
Of course, Mr. Poirot. I'm not going to bed right away.
Can you tell me your movements while we were stopped in Venice?
That'll be easy. I didn't move much at all. Let's see. I helped Hotaru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hotaru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
Dr. Constantine found a stab wound on Ratchet's body that was caused by a much thinner and sharper blade than the others.
Possibly a chef's knife?
My thought precisely.
And you'd like to see my knives?
If you wouldn't mind.
I would gladly show you if I had any, but I don't. I use the regular kitchen knives. You may search if you don't believe me.
I see.
All the knives the staff use are in the kitchen or in the lounge, except...
Except?
Hotaru prefers to use his own.
Monsieur Mori doesn't use the kitchen knives?
Not usually. I know he keeps a set of traditional Japanese knives in a box in his room. He doesn't let anyone else use them. Although now that I think of it, he has been using the kitchen knives lately.
Can you tell me
엄청난
exactly
단서.
about the poker game the night of the murder?
We started around 11 p.m. In Vinkovsky, we took a short break. Hotaru and Pierre went outside to smoke. Oh, and Hotaru got sick around a few minutes past 1 a.m.
엄청난
1:10
단서.
a.m. maybe? He spent about 15 minutes in the bathroom, but he didn't want to quit on a losing streak.
Did his luck improve?
No, so we played to around 2 a.m. He lost every hand.
I've talked to everyone, but some elements of the testimonies do not seem to correspond. I need to recheck a few things. Come to Poirot, my exquisitely sculpted friend.
닐슨한테 말하라고?
Remind me of what you did when the train stopped in Venice.
No problem. I helped Hotaru load all of the food crates aboard the train. Hotaru had everything he needed, but I realized they forgot half of my order. I spent over an hour on the phone with the supplier without success. I had to change the dessert menu for tomorrow.
그렇지.
I know there is a clue somewhere to prove she's lying. She is lying, but why?
이상하다. 아 이건가?
She may be
아니네.
telling the truth, but I cannot be certain.
같이 음식 상자 실었잖아. 얘가 아니면 누구야?
Mademoiselle, I believe you're hiding the
아까
truth
걔는
from me.
What makes you say
남자애는
that?
딴 데 갔고. 아 미셸.
Michel saw
맞네, 미셸.
Monsieur Mori
혼자
carrying
옮겼다
the
그랬어.
crates of food alone. You weren't on the platform.
I did help Hotaru.
근데 모리는
아,
같이 실었다 그랬잖아.
He carried so many crates, his back was sore.
Ah, I'm sorry
졸라
about
이상하네.
that. Okay,
게임.
I'm guilty.
모리는
I
같이
did leave
실었다
him before we
그랬는데
were finished.
모리가
But I
맞지
had
그러면.
to. There was no saffron he needed for a recipe. I volunteered to go into Venice and get him some. The Rialto market would be open late because of the carnival. He gave me money. I knew we weren't supposed to leave the train, but I only wanted to help. Mr. Mori can confirm this. Ask him. I saved dinner.
아니 아까 모리가 같이 실었다 그랬는데 뭐. 미셸이 봤을 때는 혼자
On
끙끙거렸을 수도
behalf
있지.
of my palate, I thank you. How long were you gone?
I left at 9:10 p.m. and was back with the saffron around 11. That's when I called my supplier for the items I was missing.
Miss Nielsen had almost 2 hours to buy the saffron, find a costume, kill Monsieur Wadi, elude Detective Locke, and make it back to the train for that phone call. Yes, it's possible that was enough time. Thank you, Mademoiselle Nielsen. That is all for now.
Sorry again, Mr. Poirot. I hope you enjoyed tonight's dessert.
와, 얘 반론이 없어? 뭐야, 그럼 태극마크 왜 안 물어봐? 거기에 칼 들어있을 수도 있는데. 그래, 자기 방에 보관한다는 칼. 이건 뭐지?
A black feather. That reminds me of something.
이걸 뭐 어디서 봐? 거기 그 베니스에서 도망가는 애 모자에 달려있던 그 깃털 아냐? 광대 모자 같이 생긴 그 모자에 달려있던 깃털. 안 돼? 그럼 어떻게 하라는 거야? 왜 이게 안 되지? 회전밖에 안 되네? 이동. 아, 된다. 이걸로 하는 거래?
It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side.
이렇게 꽂히라. 얘 안 움직이죠? 단순하게 이걸 다 민다고 되는 게 아닐 텐데. 이게 왜 움직여? 어? 그렇지? 이거 앉아. 아, 이 순서가 이렇게 돼 있어. 나 안 다치는 거구나. 끄트머리가. 그렇다면 이게 릴로 되죠?
It's still locked. I need to move the parts on the side.
빠질 때까지 가야 되거든. 이거를 어떻게 빼야 될까? 장미꽃도 뭔가 있을 거고. 그러면 이게 잠깐만요. 이게 그러면 봐봐. 반대로도 움직여진다는 얘기거든. 얘 때문에 안 다치지? 다치지? 쟤를 밀어야 될 거 아니야? 그죠? 그럼 얘를 빼. 맨 밑에 놈을 밀어야 돼. 그렇지. 얘가 움직여지고 된다고. 그럼 이제 이놈을 뺄 수... 안 빠져? 어째서? 일단 좋아. 닫아봐. 자, 베끼고 빼고. 이건 상관이 없죠? 얘는 일로 제끼고. 요 놈을 바깥으로 빼야 되는데 요 놈을 바깥으로 빼든 요 놈을 바깥으로 빼든. 근데 이놈이 안 빠진단 말이야. 왜지? 얘 끝에까지는 안 빠지게 돼 있나? 아, 태극 발견. 그래, 여기 있잖아. 여기 칼이 있다고. 아, 요거 아니야. 위에 거. 위에 거 딱 걸렸어. 일로 와. 아니네?
Sushi knives, razor sharp.
피 얼룩인 줄 알았는데 아니구나.
Colteria Venezia.
벨리아 베네치아.
Sushi knives, razor sharp. Sushi knives, razor
다
sharp.
저것만 제조사가 다르네.
I'm sorry, Monsieur Mori, but haven't you forgotten something? You haven't told me about the knives hidden in your room.
Ha! Yes, indeed. I forgot to tell you about those. They are my personal knives. I only use these knives. There are none better. I bought them all in Japan. No one is allowed
대치하자. 거짓말한다.
except me.
대치. 거짓말.
I'm afraid you are better at sushi than lying.
What? What do you mean?
One of the knives has an inscription Coltelleria Venezia. Did you happen to go shopping tonight, monsieur?
Damn you, Poirot. Very well. One of my sushi knives has been missing since the night of the murder. I thought you were going to believe I killed Ratchet.
그런 거였어?
He
그럼 얘가 범인
routinely
아니야?
sent back my dishes to be ruined. Why does God give rich people the money to afford the best cuisine?
그러면
but
이거를
not the
알고
palate
있는
to
닐슨이
appreciate
범인일
it?
확률이 높네.
I
시간도 충분하고.
panic. I know a very good store in Venice. I went to buy a knife to replace the one that had gone missing. So, I wouldn't be accused. I assure you that I had nothing to do with any murders.
칼은
I
내려놓고
would
얘기해.
have an easier time believing you, monsieur, if you put that knife down.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
What time did you leave on your little shopping trip?
I left around 9:30 p.m. I was back a little after 11. 11:15 p.m.
Time enough to stab Monsieur Wadi and return. Very well, Monsieur Mori. That's all for now. If I have another question,
I'll be right here, cooking.
자, 들어갑시다. 너? 이거 이렇게 가야 되네.
I must admit,
야, 이게 왜 안
I'm
돼?
not right this
같은
time.
거지 이게. 이거 이렇게 해야 되나? 이건 상관이 없는데? 이거를 입증할 수가 없잖아.
This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. I don't
이건가?
think.
그럼 이거네.
No, no, no.
와,
not
씨.
good.
이게 아니면 이거야?
I must admit,
와, 이거 뭐지?
no, no. Think.
뭘까? 이건 뭐야? 이거 말도 안 되는 이게 두 개가 왜 연결돼? 존나 어이없네. 전혀 상관없는 건데.
Any of the three staff members had the opportunity to kill Ratchet when Monsieur Michel wasn't watching the hallway. My little gray cells didn't.
알리바이가? 백작 부인이야?
This is all.
있잖아, 방 안에 있었잖아. 닐슨?
I don't.
얘는 쫄로 갔다고. 아, 얘가
No, no, no.
쫄로 갔고. 아니, 얘는 다 알리바이 있잖아. 얘 짐 옮겼고, 짐 옮긴 거 얘랑 같이 했다고 그랬고. 별로 어이가 없네. 뭐야 이거 왜 다 안 돼? 없어.
I don't.
아씨. 아니 지금 내 말이 다 눌렀는데 업데 아니라고 나오고서 무슨 씨.
This is.
이거 봐. 어쩌라고.
I must admit, I'm not right. This is.
게임 졸라 웃게 되니까 이거.
No, no.
아 여러 명 선택해야 돼? 아.
Et voilà.
사실 이런 거는 실제로 도움이 안 되는 거잖아요. 지금 진도를 나간 건데 게임상에서 진도를 나간 건데 3명 다 알리바이가 결국엔 이렇다 할 만한 알리바이가 아니야. 그럼 물론 알리바이가 있기는 한데 시간 텀이 너무 길어서 그러면은 진전이 없는 거잖아요. 이런 걸 게임으로 왜 만든 거야 결국엔 또. 그냥 약간 뻘짓을 좀 시켜 보면은.
What have you been doing, Poirot? I am completely in the dark.
I will shine some light on the situation, my friend. I have 3 new suspects who could have killed Ratchet and Monsieur Wadi. Miss Nielsen, Monsieur Fauché, and Monsieur Maury. They all had periods of time during both murders to commit the deed, and their alibis are weak. A visit to family, and not 1, but 2 shopping trips.
But all are my employees.
Alas, yes, my dear book. But we have no proof against any of them. None of the 3 appears to have any motive whatsoever.
But this is a tragedy.
Do not give up hope. We will catch this murderer. There is still one place that may hold the evidence we need.
Geneva.
Exact.
Do not give up hope? Well, that's easy for you to say. But what if it's Freya? What becomes of dessert? If it's Sotaru, who will cook? Me? And the worst, if it's Jean, Who will serve the drinks?
I've been checking up on the Banque du Lac. I had to confirm my identity for Interpol, so they contacted my captain at the Berkshire Police.
I suspect he was not pleased.
That my vacation was actually an unofficial investigation? I'll say.
I would be happy to speak to him on your behalf.
Thank you, but he'll get over it. It's a chance to close the books on the Armstrong kidnapping. He stopped yelling, asked for a report, then granted me an extra week.
Excellent. What did you learn from Interpol about the Banque du Lac?
It's had a bad reputation for over a century. Customers have included the mafia, Nazis, corporate swindlers of every description, even heads of state.
It is true, this. It is the worst kept secret in banking. They take advantage of the bank's strict policy of protecting the anonymity of its clients. This is in defiance of many laws from multiple countries, including Switzerland itself. Of course, I have never taken advantage of such a corrupt system.
That goes without saying, my friend.
There are ongoing investigations, subpoenas, court orders. The bank will eventually have to comply, or its assets may be seized. But until then, it still thrives, thanks to its wealthy and powerful clients.
It sounds perfect for the late Monsieur Ratchet. Do you have any ideas?
The serial numbers from some of the bills match those from the Armstrong kidnapping. We agreed in Venice that the bulk of the money must still be physically in the bank's vault.
I concur, Detective Locke. Exemplary work. So, our next task is clear. We need to get into Ratchet's safety deposit box.
There will be codes, passwords.
And Monsieur Wadi would, of course, have known them all. The bag of money he carried is proof of that.
We'll need to find information about Ratchet's box in Wadi's office at the bank.
Most assuredly, but remember the secrecy involved. I doubt his office will contain all we need. Where else must we dig? My little gray cells did not let me down.
Mr. Wadi couldn't keep all of his secrets at the bank. Hopefully we'll find something in his apartment. We already have his address thanks to his passport, and his keys we retrieved from his body.
The train stops in Lausanne at 8 a.m. But that's far from Geneva. I can delay the departure until 11 a.m. No later. The police are expecting us in Paris by the end of the afternoon at the latest. They won't tolerate any delay.
The bank doesn't open until 9. I can see only one way that gives us a chance to be on time.
Taxi.
Let's take a taxi. I checked a map. It should take us less than an hour to get to Geneva from Lausanne, which leaves us just enough time to access that safety deposit box. We have no choice if we want to be back to the train by 11 a.m. The best thing is to separate. One of us searches his apartment, the other searches his office. To access the safety deposit box, we need to find the key, the box number, and the passcode.
Suppose you find all this. How do you plan to get into the vault?
My captain suggested an international warrant to search the box, but the warrant would take days, and the bank would probably just laugh at it.
We are going to use the bank's anonymity policy to our advantage.
And the quickest way is for you to impersonate Ratchet.
I would rather impersonate Jack the Ripper, but in the interest of justice, I will do it.
We need to find the account number.
Along with everything else.
I will say I want access to the vault. They don't ask for papers or even names. The vault information is enough.
I'm not hearing any of this. I run a train company.
시승용증이
I
그렇게
don't
오래
run
걸리는구나.
banks.
Perfect. Let's recap the plan.
자, 작전. 자, 택시를 타고 제네바에 갑니다. 연락집니다. 은행에서 만나요. 아, 잠깐만. 정보를 찾아요.
not think that's the
뭘
right
잘못한
answer.
거지? 이거 두 개가 바뀌었나?
That's the right answer.
To sum up, we're going by taxi to Geneva. Then we'll split up. You're going to search Mr. Wadi's apartment. I'll search the office at the bank. When we have all the information we need, you pretend to be Ratchet, and we can finally find out what Ratchet is keeping hidden in his safety deposit box.
It sounds impossible.
Not for Detective Joanna Locke and Hercule Poirot.
We should get some rest.
You are right, Detective. We face our greatest challenge tomorrow. Together.
와, 이게 실제 사건이라고? 오리엔트 특급 사건이? 미친.
9 o'clock. Our driver did well. It took barely an hour to get here from Lausanne.
But we must conclude our business in 1 hour as well. Book can only hold the train until 11 o'clock.
1 hour to find the key of Ratchet's safety deposit box, the box number, and its passcode. A lot to ask.
Indeed, which is why we must split our forces. I will take the cab to Monsieur Wadi's address. You must search his office.
I have you on speed dial. And thank you, Mr. Poirot.
For what, mademoiselle?
For trusting me. You there. I have an appointment with Mr. Wadi.
Let me check. I'm sorry, I don't see any appointments this morning at all. Mr. Wadi hasn't even arrived yet, although he should be here by now.
Even though your customers are anonymous, considering the amount of money involved, you should still have a mention of a meeting.
Yes, I can't understand it. I'll be sure to ask Mr. Wadi when he arrives. In the meantime, you are more than welcome to wait in his office. I'll see you're not disturbed. Please follow me.
여기가 스위스 은행인가요? 그 유명한?
Please come in. I can't understand where Mr. Wadi might be.
You're right. I don't have much time at all. It's closed. Alice in Wonderland. Again. Mr. Wadi seems to have really liked this book.
아, 이걸 또 읽게 만드네. 카이님 어서 오세요. 여기 단서가 있을 것 같은데, 뭐 비밀번호라든가. 정말 읽기 싫은데 이게 왜 있을까? 이걸 찾으라고 있는 거구나. 아닌데? 아, 이게 왜 있을까?
A souvenir tower of Babel. Makes sense.
We know that Mr. Wadi is from Iraq, and the ancient tower is said to have been built there.
과연 어떤 모양을 맞춰야 되는 걸까? 바벨탑이 어떻게 생겼는지 어딘가에서 찾아야겠는데?
Locked.
I'm taking a picture of it. I'll send it to Poirot. It might be useful to him.
갑자기 추리물이 하고 싶어가지고요.
I need the password. Maybe Poirot can help me.
몇 글자지? 정신 나갔구만. 9글자야.
I managed to get into Wadi's office. I did a quick preliminary search. Everything is locked, including his computer. All I could find was a photo with a date on it. I just sent it to you. Maybe you can use it.
Thank you. That might help. I've just arrived at the apartment. I'll call you when I find something.
As quick as you can. I can't stay here long.
아, 이제 이쪽으로 넘어간다고?
This is definitely not Monsieur Wadi's apartment.
그럼 딱 봐도 어디가 와디 씨 집인지 여기 있네.
Here we are.
여기 있구나.
Let's see if the key I picked up in Monsieur Wadi's luggage in Venice will open his door. Great. Another delightful trophy for my collection. A dart, a familiar projectile found in any pub in England.
찢어져 있네. 찢어져 있는 거야? 얼룩진 거야? 불에 탄 거야? 씨. 이거를 다 읽으라고 썼을까? 아, 이 책 뭔가 이상한데? 이거를 보관하고 있는 이유도 이상하고.
I think this belongs here.
여기 가운데 하나 비었네. 와, 잠깐만, 이거 뭐 해야 되나 이걸로? 아니 씨바, 그럼 이거에 대한 단서를 또 찾아야 돼. 어씨 잠깐만 단서가 너무 많은데?
Staring at the clock won't help, Poirot. A bizarre endgame to be sure, but I suspect checkmate is possible for white in 3 moves. Let's see.
검은색 킹이 잘 안 보이는데? 자 일단 A, B, C, D에 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8이에요. 문을 열어줘야 되는 거야? 뭐 어찌해야 되는 거야? 눈구멍 봐봐.
Who are you? What are you doing in there?
I am Hercule Poirot. I am working with the police. You are Monsieur Wadi's neighbor?
Yes, next door. I heard a noise. I thought it was Mr. Wadi who had come home. I don't know him very well. A delivery man left a package for him with me.
He is lying, and I will prove it.
아 이게 아니야?
What evidence
아이,
can
뭐야?
help me prove he's lying?
옆집
I
사람?
need some
뭐야, 이거,
evidence
씨발.
to prove he's lying. You don't know your neighbor very
아
well.
이웃인데
Yes,
잘
what
모를
of
수 있지. 너 어이없네.
How is it that Monsieur Wadi has a picture of you on his desk? There is quite a family resemblance. You wouldn't be his brother by any chance?
Why are you going through his things?
As I told you, I am working with the police.
All right, yes. I'm his brother, Mehdi Wadi. Do you know where he is?
I am very sorry, sir, but I have some terrible news for you. Your brother has been murdered. You have my sincere condolences.
Oh no. Aziz. My wife. My son. Their hearts will break. Everything he did was for his family. He brought us here from Iraq to give my son a better future. We can't go back. You won't. You won't.
Do not fret, Monsieur Wadi. I do not want to cause trouble for you and your family. I am here to catch his murderer. When did you last see your brother?
2 days ago. He was on his way to Venice. It was not a journey he was looking forward to. I knew something was wrong, but he promised all would be well soon. My son will be heartbroken. Aziz made a point of reading to Fadi every night so he could learn English. We hope to legally emigrate there one day.
Your son, Fadi. What did Monsieur Wadi read to him?
뭐
His
이상한 나라
favorite book is
앨리스겠지.
Alice in Wonderland. The nonsense of it all. Why?
It is the answer to a question I had. I believe your brother was a good man, forced for some reason to keep secrets, and that got him killed.
Sir, there is something else. Aziz left me a letter to open if anything should happen to him.
Could you show it to me?
Yes, I will get it.
야 여기서 정보를 찾았네. 계좌번호 82664. 금고 정보도 넘기라고 한 거 보면은 동생이 금고 정보에 대해서 알고 있다는 거네.
It all makes sense. It's horrific. But to Ratchet, it would be just business as usual. At least I have Ratchet's account number, 82664. Thank you for giving me this letter. Let me assure you, the man Ratchet cannot harm you. He was killed before your brother was.
Really? Who did it? The one you say hunted Ratchet?
Yes, without a doubt. I promise you I will find them.
Sir, we have no papers. The police...
Your secret is safe with me, monsieur.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, I must go to my wife and son. Tonight, I will read to Fadi from Alice in Wonderland, and we will remember my brother.
I need to
이래서 사람은
notify
불법을 하고
Mademoiselle
하면 안
Locke
돼요.
that I have Ratchet's bank account.
그래야 경찰의 도움이 필요할 때 받을 수가 없어. 불법을 하면 안 돼. 비밀번호 바뀌었어? 1865년 9판 88쪽. 오케이 91쪽. 아 내가 원하던 게 여기 있네. 내가 원하는 게 여기 있어. 이거 8891 9496 98. 오케이 8891 9694 9496 98. 이게 65년 판인가? 아니면은 여형사가 갖고 있던 책이 65년 판인가? 여기 없겠지. 이거 아니겠지. 65년 판 왠지 여형사의 거일 것 같은데? 둘이 갈라져 있기 때문에 여형사 쪽이어야 될 것 같아. 그래야 말이 맞아. 8891 9496 98 9194 9194만 외우자. 외우기 힘드니까 9194.
That may be useful to Mademoiselle Locke or me. I'll take a photo.
이게 뭐야? 자 일단 (87B) 87B 87B 여기도 열리네. 일단 보죠.
Staring at the clock won't help, Poirot. This could be the password to Monsieur Wadi's office computer. He must change it every month. It seems to have a logical sequence, but I need to find the one for December.
이제 IQ 테스트까지 하네. 근데 글씨가 생긴 게 저게 뭔지를 어떻게 알아? 어? 아 저 글씨가 뭐 어떻게 생긴 거야? 아 361070이라고 써 있는 거야? 뭐야? 아 잠깐만요. 잠깐만. 361070 147218 985832 509694 이렇게 써있다는 얘기잖아. 37959 6480이고 1759 0286 7139 0824. 그럼 이 문자가 뭘 나타내나 본데? 문자가? 사이에 낀 문자가 뭘까? 저 그림이 왜 있는 거지? 그림? 저 그림은 왜 있는 걸까? 저 문자를 알아야만 풀 수 있는 거면 진짜 오반데? 단순히 숫자로만 풀 수 있게 해줘야 되는 건데 이거? 야, 나 찾은 것 같다. 저 찾은 것 같습니다. 예, 여러분 답 알 것 같나요? 저 찾았는데. 맨 앞자리를 모르겠다. 근데 맨 앞자리 모르겠어. 모양이 이상해갖고 지금 삐뚤삐뚤하게 써있어갖고. 자, 맨 앞자리가 그러면 뭘까? 뒷자리를 보면 알겠지. 자, 일단은 말하는 거 먼저 합시다. 여기 9고요. 여기 3. 여기 5야. 자, 여기가 여기를 모르겠는데 그럼 저 자리가 뭘까? 저 앞자리 뭔지를 알면 돼. 저 앞자리가 이게 5라고? 이게 5면은 잠깐만, 이게 5가 되면은 말이 되나? 두 개 건너서구나. 아니지, 이게 맞고. 내가 지금 뭘 틀렸어. 5 1 9 3이야.
If that's the
Okay.
password to the computer in Monsieur Wadi's office, we still need to translate the Arabic
아, 여기서
characters.
갑자기 IQ
And
테스트를
there
시키네.
weren't any Arabic characters on the office computer's keyboard. I wonder if the computer in Monsieur Wadi's office has a similar Arabic keyboard. That was easy.
자, 그러면 이제 컴퓨터. 아니 씨발.
This computer won't give up its secrets easily. This keyboard should help me translate this code.
야, 씨발 이제 이거를 기억해야 돼? 기다려봐. 야, 씨. R. 아, 이건 기억할 필요 없구나. 위에 거랑 대조하면 되네. A. P. F. E.
Arabic is read from right to left, so the password must surely be read that way too. With any luck, this will unlock the computer in Monsieur Wadi's office. Let me
ROA1
text it
P
to Miss Locke.
Q F E. 아, 이거
My
씨.
little gray cells did not let me down.
RA PFE였죠? RA PFE 5193 외우면 되니까. 그러면 이제 아까 그 경찰이 있던 그 컴퓨터 비밀번호 알 수 있으니까 RAP 라프페라고 합시다. 그냥 라프페 5193. 자, 이거 이제 이거 풀어야 돼. 씨발 왜 이렇게 외울 게 왜 이렇게 많아 이번엔. 자, 검은색이 8H 맞나? 아, 잠깐만. 아씨. (87B) 야, 이거 외우기 힘든데? 씨. 외우기 힘든데? 8A였고 7B랑 8B 어디 있어? 8B. 야, 이거 가져와봐. H가 아니라 A야. 8A 8B 7A. 아, 7B 그 다음에 흰색. (8D 6A 5D) 8D 6A 5D. (8D 6A 5D). 아니야? 이거 한 다음에 뭘 누르는 그게 없나? 어? 잠깐만요. 이거 체스를 나보고 두라는 얘긴데? 킹이 어디냐? 킹이 8A에 있는 게 킹이라는 거지. 비숍. 지금 누구 차례인데? 아, 누구 차례인데 이거? 저 퀸이잖아요? 그 이미 체크메이트인데? 이게 방향이 오른쪽으로 가는 건가? 이렇게? 이렇게 돌려서? 그러면 쫄이 앞으로 막으면 안 돼. 얘로 막으면 7B가 7A에 있는 애가 8B로 가면 막아지고, 그러면 8B로가 막아지고, 그랬을 때 말을 떠서 말로 체크메이트를 치면은 7C로 가서 치면은 먹으면은 퀸이 먹으니까 안 되고, 킹이 옆으로 빠져야겠지? 킹이 한 칸 옆으로 빠졌을 때, 그러네. 오케이. 딱 얘 말대로 세수매로 체크메이트가 되네. 자, 그러면 7A에 있는 7B로 옮깁시다. 내가 뭐 하나 잘못했나? 이게 7B에 있는데? 잠깐만, 이게 왜 요거 아니었나? 8A 8B 그 다음에 7B잖아. 7B였지? 7B야. 8B에 있는 애를, 설마 왼쪽이 지금 숫자 잘못 봤나? 왼쪽이 숫자? 왼쪽이 숫자네. 8A 7A 7B구나. 8A 7A 7B야. 이거 체크메이트 안 풀어도 됐었나 본데? 7A 7B지. 됐네. 체크메이트 안 풀어도 됐네. 이건 뭐야? 이거 설마 아닌데? 몇 글자죠? 봐야겠다. 7글자라고? 바벨탑 생긴 게 여기 있네. 커즈 7글자? 7글자가 설마 이게 비번은 아니겠지? 아니지. 안 맞지? 개수가 안 맞아. 자, 7글자. 체크메이트로만 하는 걸까? 아니야. 이거 아니고. 이게 어딘가에 나왔었을 텐데. 어떻게 비번이 7글자지? 아씨. 일곱 글자 맞네. 아, 이게 뭘까? 뭘까? 저 7글자 과연 뭘까? 보자. 아, 네모로 전환을 할 수가 있네요. 아, 오케이. 아씨, 전화를 할 수가 있어. 자.
Ah, the peculiar habit some people have of displaying things on the door of their refrigerator. I've just sent a photo to you in case it might help you.
Thank you.
I texted Ratchet's account number to you.
Wonderful.
Did you receive my text? This must be the password to Mr. Wadi's computer.
I have it. Thank you.
그래, 자, 이제 비밀번호 빨리 뜯어. 라프페니까 라프페 아니었어? 보냈다고 하니까. 아, 라프페 아니었나? 이거 어떻게 된 거지? 5193 아니야? 최소로 체크메이트 하기. 그래, 일단 해야 돼. 야, 얘가 누가 먼저 하는 건데? 아, 내가 아까 검은색 먼저 하는 걸로 생각했는데 흰색이 먼저 하나 보네. 아, 그러면 얘기가 다르지. 이미 체크메이트 아닙니까? 나 이해가 안 되는 게 지금 이미 흰색하고 검은색 체크메이트인데? 아, 이게 비숍이 아니라 쫄이었어? 폰이야? 생긴 거 참. 이거 하면 먹히지. 먹히면 안 돼. 이게 먼저
Come on,
가.
Joanna.
아, 뭐야?
Rookie mistake.
이거 오리지널 체스라서 우리 한국에서 하는 거랑 좀 룰이 다른가? 이게 일로 가면?
Not bad.
그래, 비숍이잖아. 아, 비숍. 그래, 이게 먹히는데 왜 이걸 가? 왜 이거 먹히는데 가? 존나 어이없네? 체스를 못 두는 것 같아요. 이거 제작사가 이렇게 안 해도 이기거든? 이렇게 안 해도 이길 수 있는데 왜 저걸 가서 뒤져야 되는 거야? 안 뒤지고도 이길 수 있는데? 존나 어이없네. 말이 가야.
No, Joanna.
말이
That
왜 안
doesn't
가?
track. That's it.
아, 이쪽이 위쪽이라고? 아, 이쪽이 위쪽이면은 말이 되네. 말이 돼.
Not bad. That is a great detective job.
자, 계좌번호 826649. 라프펠을 거꾸로 뒤집어서, 아, 라프펠 거꾸로 뒤집어서, 라프를 거꾸로 뒤집어서. 존나 어이없네. 참. 아이씨. 존나 열받네. 아, 이것도 외워야 돼? 야, 뭐야 이거. 82664. 아씨.
The number of Ratchet's safety deposit box.
4346.
I should let Mr. Poirot know.
4346. 4346. 잔고 하나도 없어. 98년 5월 4일. 이게 65년 본이어야 되거든? 이게? 이 65년 본이어야 돼, 이거. 1865년 본? 3 4 9 여긴 뭐야? 3 4 9 0? 어? 이상한데? 아... 잠깐만, 이것도 이상하네요. 이 65년 본이 아니야? 읽어야 되겠다, 내용을. 아니야, 이거 읽는 게 아닐 거야. 3, 4, 9까지 맞는데 항상 96212는 없는데 이게 96페이지, 98페이지이기 때문에 이 열쇠를 어떻게 하나? 여기 열쇠는 내가 볼 때 요 안에 있다. 요 안에 있는데 이거 그림을 아까 그림이 저게 저걸 보고 어떻게 맞추지 이걸? 아, 동그라미 네모. 얘는 동그라미만 있네. 이게 이거에 대한 단서가 아직 더 필요할 것 같아.
Time is not on my side.
전화해서 빨리 알려주고.
I was able to access Mr. Wadi's computer. I have Ratchet's safety deposit box number.
Excellent.
안전금고 비밀번호 뭐였지? 4346인데 이건 아니란 말이야. 이거 아니고 이거 7글자고. 저거를 어디서 찾지? 체크메이트 뭐 필요도 없는 거를. 잠깐만. 체크메이트 뭐하러 한 건데? (98) 페이지 아무것도 없어. 잠깐만.
Mademoiselle Locke, how far along are you?
Still not very far, but I'm not giving up.
자, 일단 349인데 여기서 찾은 건 349.
Mr. Poirot, how are you doing?
I have little to report, but keep looking.
(34960이라고) 34960? 34960으로 봐야 돼? 두 자리가 없는데 그러면? 1865년 구판. 아무리 봐도 이거 아닙니까? 아무리 봐도 이게 구판이잖아. 자, 88페이지에 3이라고 써있잖아요. 숫자가 3. 자, 91페이지 없죠? (94페이지) 9라고 써있어. 그럼 여기 것까지는 아까 사무실에 있는 거랑 똑같아. 그럼 349야. 349. 그 다음에 여기 6이라고 써있죠? 3496. 근데 98페이지 아무것도 안 써있어. 그럼 0이라고 봐야 되는데 그럼 5자리란 말이야 비번이. 그럼 요 비번은 뭐지? 아, 34960으로 치고 지금 이 바벨탑을 이걸 맞춰야 되거든. 일단 이 바벨탑을 맞춰야 돼. 바벨탑 어떻게 맞춰야 될까? 아, 이 바벨탑을 어떻게 맞춰야 되지?
Staring at the clock won't help.
바벨탑을 아니 근데 이거를 찍어가지고 걔한테 보내면 안 돼? 아! 아니네. 이게 뭘 말하는 걸까? 883 914 949 966 이라고 쳐도 이거는 나중에 거 가서 쓰는 것 같고 일단 사무실을 2개를 더 수색해야 되고 와디의 집도 2개로 더 찾아야 되는데 지금 와디의 집에서 찾을 만한 게 이거밖에 없는데? 하나인데? 자, 일단 바벨탑을 해결을 합시다.
Still
바벨탑
not
이거
very far,
해결해야
but
돼
I'm
무조건.
not giving up.
근데 이 바벨탑의 모양을 설마 이 바벨탑 모양을 알고 있는 사람이 맞추라는 그런 건 아니겠지? 배경지식으로 이 탑을 맞추라는 거 아니겠지? 이것도 똑같이 3, 4, 9, 6 근데 99페이지에 6이 없네. 5페이지로 갔네. 이게 한글로 번역하면서 갔을 수도 있어. 그럼 뭐 대충 3, 4, 9, 6, 2라고 치고 5개 입력하는 곳이 없고 현재 지금 당장 요걸 풀어야 되는데 이게 뭘 말하는 걸까? 이 어딘가에도 모양이 없거든요? 이걸 뭐를 말하는 건데 좌우로밖에 안 들어갔단 말이야. 잠깐만. 바벨탑. 아씨, 한국인이 바벨탑을 어떻게 알아 이씨. 아, 저걸 어디서 어떻게 알아내지? 아, 근데 얘는 왜 사진 찍어서 보낸 그 바벨탑 사진을 왜 안 보는 거야 이걸? 안 되겠다. 이거 돌아가서 이걸 확대해서 한번 봐야겠는데?
Mr. Poirot, how are you doing?
I have little to report, but keep looking.
뭐라 써 있는 거야? 바벨탑이라고 써놓고 아, 나 알았다. 아씨, 와, 이걸 이따구로 해놨네. 아, 이 게임이 진짜 대박인게 난이도가 그렇게 어려운 건 아닌 것 같으면서도 머리 나쁜 사람하고 머리 좋은 사람하고 좀 차이가 나게끔 만들어놨어. 은근히 야씨 미친놈들이네 이거.
Mademoiselle Locke, how far along are you?
Still not very far, but I'm not giving up.
아 씨바 진짜 그렇습니다. 야 진짜
A key. I
갓게임이네.
wonder if it will fit the
아
desk
갓게임
drawer.
인정. 진짜 추리 게임이다 이게.
A key.
모처럼 진짜 추리 게임이네. 야 지렸다 씨. 아 이게 왜 정답이 저거라고 얘기를 안 하면서 만약에 스트리머가 풀잖아요? 그러면 시청자도 모를 것 같아. 아 게임 진짜 이거 어떻게 풀었지? 이럴 것 같아 진짜. 뭐고 이거? 야 요거 자국 야씨. 자 저기다가 저 연필로 선을 거봐 마. 이걸 가지고 이거 뭐 상호작용이 없는데? 저걸로 색칠을 해보라고. 아 씨발 저 펜을 가지고 색칠을 해봐. 상호작용이 없어. 됐다.
Those indentations are from the sheet of the notepad that was on top. This is great. All those mystery movies I watched as a kid. I know what to do.
알았으니까 빨리 칠해봐. 아우 씨. 아우 요짓거리도 해야 돼? 이거 복권이야 복권? 아우 씨. 아우 일단 다 칠하고
I'll send a picture of this to Poirot.
야 연필은 치우고 찍어야지. 아 근데 내가 썩 지금 뭔가 알아차릴 만한 그 수학이 없어요. 아 나 정말 너 왜 M이냐고? 왜 M이냐고?
I sent you a photo of doodles I found on a notepad. I hope it can help you.
I hope so as well. The key to the password is close. I can feel it.
이걸 이제 나오네. 씨. 뭐라고? 아 이걸 빼고 자. 나왔네. 3 4 9 6 2야? 맞네. 와씨
Here it is.
번역 과정에서 잘못된 거였어. 야 이런 것까지 추리해야 돼? 번역 과정에서 틀어지는 게임 제작에 대한 그런 것도 추리를 해야 되는 거야? 씨발? 존나 열받네. 아, 일단 3496이고 M이 뭘까? 그럼 일단 이것도 2개가 됐고 저것도 2개가 됐단 말이야. M과 그 사진 이걸 뭐로 봐야 될까? 잠깐만. M과 그 사진 41526 41536 이거 7글자인데? 씨 이거 7자리야. 이거 7자리야. 아 씨바 소름. 진짜.
It looks like a safe key to me. We finally found it.
다 한 거 아니야? 다 했는데? 나가야지 이제. 전화를 하라고?
Good news. I have found the key to Ratchet's safe.
Perfect.
I believe I have discovered Ratchet's safety deposit box passcode.
We're almost there. We're running out of time. Do we have everything?
I have the key to the safety deposit box.
I have the number of the box.
And we have the passcode. I'm on my way. Time to rob a bank.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I haven't heard from Monsieur Wadi.
와 진짜 이거 정답 모르는
Quite
사람은
annoying. I'll have to
이미 뭐 이
reschedule.
게임을 봐가지고 아는 사람들 빼고
I hope I
정답
have
모르는
been
사람은 아까 저
You have
바벨탑
no
어떻게 풀었는지 존나 궁금할 거다 진짜. 와 진짜 나 씨발 아까 딱 알아차렸을 때 깜짝 놀랐어. 소름 돋았어. 소름 돋았어. 아 이거 진짜 추리 게임이구나 했네. 와 씨.
That was fast. We do this as planned?
Yes, I am, Monsieur Ratchet.
담배 하나
But
피고
with the
오겠습니다.
bank's questionable policy, I do not expect anyone to ask.
Right. Absolute secrecy regarding their clients. The last Swiss bank of its kind.
와, 방탈출하는 기분이다. 존나 재밌다, 진짜. 아, 이런 게임이 재밌어, 이런 게임. 아, 씨. 지니어스 하는 것 같아. 아, 씨.
Madame, I still haven't heard from Mr. Waddy.
Well, we'll have to make do without him now that my friend is here. It's his box we want to access.
And the clock is ticking. I trust there is no problem.
No, no problem at all. May I have your safety deposit box number?
4346.
May I see your key? Do you know your passcode?
Yes. Mademoiselle will be able to accompany me? No names, of course.
Of course. I'll open the door. Go down the stairs. The guard will accompany you.
Please leave your personal belongings in this bin and then go through the portal. I'll open it for you.
잠깐만. 증거번호 뭐라고? 아리 아니 4346. 응? 이렇게 찾아보고 있는 중에도 이미 금고 주인이 아니라는 게 티가 나지 않나? 맨날 왔던 사람은 여기 알 텐데.
Our goal.
열쇠를 넣고.
Now I will insert my key, if you allow.
Thank you.
참. 자.
I'll be by the door should you need any assistance.
At last.
I suspect the effort will be worth it. This collection of various personal items. Do you know what they are, Detective Locke?
I do, Mr. Poirot. God help me, I do. Souvenirs. The trophies serial killers take from their victims to remind them of their kills. Ratchet wasn't just a kidnapper.
No, indeed. He was a monster.
The one on the left. Ratchet.
Whoever he is with, their friendship seems over.
The build. The hair. It could be Noah, his partner in Daisy's kidnapping.
It appears they had a falling out. Another bracelet. Another victim.
Another trophy. And then there's the one that we already found, Suzanne's red glasses. He knew the serial numbers on the banknotes could be traced. The rest of the Armstrong ransom money. The serial numbers match. MC. The real journalist Michael Clark. Ratchet would have needed to kill him to assume his identity. He took this ring as his trophy.
Another victim. Another trophy. A woman. We may never know her name. You were lucky, mademoiselle, when you met him at that cabin in the forest, alone.
How many victims do you think Ratchet had?
Too many. I wonder who this keychain belonged to. Certainly not Ratchet. Diamonds.
A fortune. Crime does pay.
No, mademoiselle. This time it was the criminal who finally paid. For every soul Ratchet claimed, even more are suffering. Another trophy. We may never know how many people he killed.
4 years of investigation. It's all over. I finally have the last piece of evidence that Ratchet was Daisy's kidnapper and murderer.
More than that, you have helped unmask a serial killer responsible for so many deaths.
But even with all this, we're no closer to solving Ratchet's murder.
On the contrary, mademoiselle, everything. It is coming together. Don't you agree, detective?
What?
The damaged photograph.
It could be Noah. You think Noah killed Ratchet for revenge?
The train.
What about the train?
I know how a killer could vanish without leaving a trace in the snow.
Wings?
Camouflage. The trophies.
Poirot, we have a train to catch.
Not just a train, Detective Locke. We have a murderer to catch.
Poirot, enough! You have kept us in suspense ever since we left Lausanne.
Forgive me, my friend. Detective Locke and I needed the time to put the last pieces of the puzzle in their proper places.
I'll fill in where I can, but this is Mr. Poirot's show.
I confess I can't help, but I feel a certain déjà vu.
You are correct, Doctor. We have been here before. However, without you, we wouldn't have been able to reach the true conclusion of this story. My friends, your attention, please. I hope you have finished your dessert. You have every right to think the solution to the murder of Ratchet is a closed book. You are wrong. I, Poirot, admit that I was wrong. There is a final chapter.
What in bloody hell?
What does he mean? Perhaps if we are silent, Monsieur Poirot will explain.
Most of us naturally expect a journey by train to proceed in an orderly fashion from station to station. But this journey has gone off the rails. A comfortable journey, which should have been restful, turned out to be quite a challenge for my little gray cells. I beg your indulgence. I know it will be painful, But I must update you on the strange turn the Ratchet murder investigation has taken. I had two hypotheses, as you recall. A stranger boarded the train in Vinkovsky, killed Ratchet, and then exited the train unobserved. That was the first possibility. The second solution gave us 12 jurors who condemned Ratchet to death for the kidnapping and murder of Daisy Armstrong. My friend, Book, probably chose the first solution for the authorities. However, thanks to Dr. Constantine here, a 13th stab wound was discovered, throwing that solution into disarray. Moreover, the words of a witness called into question the chronology of the night of the murder upon which the first two solutions were based. Detective Locke?
Michael admitted to having been absent several times during the night. His absence therefore gave multiple opportunities for a 13th murderer to slip into Ratchet's room before the other 12 jurors lined up to stab him.
You are saying the man Ratchet was when we...
Yes, you executed a man who was already dead. But there were other suspects that night.
Other suspects?
Who? They stand before you. Mr. Fauché, Mr. Maury, and Ms. Nielsen. And they all also had a hole in their stories about their movements that night. Mr. Poirot?
Most of you don't know it, but there was a second murder in Venice.
Mein Gott, another murder.
The victim was a man named Aziz Wadi, a banker in Geneva who was on the payroll of Ratchet. He looked after the money Ratchet obtained from the Armstrong ransom. Ratchet needed money and arranged to meet Mr. Wadi in Venice. One of these three knew about that money. Now, each of them had an alibi of a sort, but if any of their alibis was a lie, that person had time to murder Monsieur Wadi, Monsieur Fauché, Mademoiselle Nielsen, and Monsieur Maury. One of you murdered Ratchet and Monsieur Wadi.
Are you kidding? I pour drinks for our guests. I don't murder them.
It's nonsense!
You are accusing me because of my knives?
But why would one of my employees kill Ratchet?
아닌 것 같은데?
The killer's motive for killing Ratchet was revenge, but not for Daisy's death. The motive for Aziz Wadi's murder was also revenge. Mr. Wadi was helping Ratchet.
Ratchet had an accomplice in the kidnapping named Noah. They kidnapped Daisy together. Ratchet stored the ransom money in a Swiss bank that protected anonymous clients. He forced Monsieur Wadi to watch over the money. Once enough time had passed, Ratchet felt it was safe to have Monsieur Wadi bring him cash whenever Ratchet needed it.
The serial numbers of the bills would still be in a file, but no one would be actively checking it.
Precisely. But Ratchet didn't just keep the ransom in his safety deposit box. There was something much worse. There was something much worse than Daisy's ransom money in that safety deposit box. During her investigation, Detective Locke found evidence proving that Ratchet was what is known as a trophy killer. He kept souvenirs of his crimes. We found trophies in the safety deposit box. There were others in a cabin Ratchet used in the Berkshire Mountains, including a beloved toy of little Daisy's.
If I'd have known that, I would have cut the bastard's head off.
노아 사진이 아까 멘트가 나오긴 했는데 지포라이터도 뭐가 있을 것 같거든요. 저는 이렇게 두 개를 연결 지으면은 데이지 사건이란 말이야. 이게 가족 팔찌가 전에 있었거든. 이렇게 가야 돼.
That was easy. The bracelet found in the safety deposit box was also on Noah's wrist in a photograph. It's obvious Ratchet killed Noah. And therefore, at last, I can tell you with absolute certainty who the murderer of Ratchet and Monsieur Wadi
닐슨.
is.
닐슨이지. 왜냐면 얘가 칼 있던 것도 얘는 알고 있고.
Mademoiselle Nielsen has the same bracelet as the one found in the safety deposit box in Geneva. A trophy from a victim of Ratchet. Noah.
Having a similar bracelet doesn't prove anything.
Yes, that might be true. If there were not an inscription on it.
Mr. Poirot, you're right. The bracelet looks similar to mine, but I have no idea what the marks on it mean. I just like the design.
The marks are not random, mademoiselle. These are special bracelets. They are called Morse code bracelets. Because, well, you know why. The marks are Morse code. Happily, I learned Morse when I was a young man doing my service for the Belgian army. This is wrong.
노아일 줄 알았는데
But
아니네.
I'm never far from the truth.
아, 조사하기로 하는 거구나. 아씨. 일단 N자는 안 들어가네요. 이게 잠깐만, 이런 비스투리한 모양을 찾아야 되는데. 이걸 먼저 찾아야겠다. 그렇지. 한 개. 그 다음에 이거지. 그 다음에 이거. 프레자.
That's the right answer. On the bracelet found in Ratchet's safety deposit box was the name Freya in Morse code. Your first name. It belonged to your father.
닐슨이 아빠야? 아이씨.
Noah Nielsen. Let's stop playing this little game, mademoiselle.
그러니까 이런
What
거를
does yours say?
끝에 가서 알려준단 말이야.
It
일을
says
못하게.
father.
그냥 의심만 가지고 있게끔, 심증만 갖고 있게끔 해놓고
Bastard.
이런 거를
Kept my father's bracelet as
끝에 가서 이제
as
정답 맞추고 나서 알려줘.
Thank you. I have to admit your timing for Ratchet's murder was perfect. Do you mind if I continue?
Would it matter? Go ahead. You've earned the right to crow.
I do not make bird sounds, mademoiselle. I take no pleasure in this. You drugged Ratchet's dessert to ensure he would be unconscious when you went to his room. You stole a knife from Monsieur Maury. If it was identified as the murder weapon, he would be accused. You knew Pierre Michel would leave the train for a smoke whenever it was stopped at a station. At Vinkovsky, you waited until he was on the station platform. Then, you carefully made your way along the first-class corridor to Ratchet's room. You entered Ratchet's room with the pass key, accessible to all employees in the crew quarters. You stabbed Ratchet at midnight.
But that knife, where is it?
Probably thrown out of Ratchet's window before the train left the station. A thorough search after the snow melts should turn it up.
My beautiful knife.
Then, you carefully returned to the crew quarters, replaced the passkey, and returned to your poker game. Et voila. The affair was not so complicated in the end. But what made the crime seem more complex? Well...
It was us.
Exactly. The 12 jurors who proceeded to carry out their far more complicated plan literally in the dark without realizing that the man was already dead.
Speaking only for myself, of course, but I believe we would have invited you to join us.
Ms. Nielsen, you killed Ratchet because he killed your father. Your motive is crystal clear. But why did you kill Aziz Wadi?
It's because of Aziz that my father died. My father knew Aziz was the only one with access to Ratchet's safe, so he convinced Aziz to steal the money from the safety deposit box. But Aziz was too afraid of Ratchet. Instead, he betrayed my father by reporting him to Ratchet. Obviously, Ratchet then murdered my father. Aziz was just as guilty of my father's death as Ratchet.
Ratchet was the worst of humanity. But Monsieur Wadi, if you knew his story...
My father is dead because of him.
I will not debate the point with you, mademoiselle. He had done nothing to justify his death. I do not see any extenuating circumstances that should allow you to escape justice. You will be arrested at the Gare de Lyon when we arrive in Paris.
Judge and jury are you, Monsieur Poirot? And you get away with it. It must be nice. But think of this. I know what you did. What you all did.
She's right. She could turn us all in.
Relax. Hector, is it? Your secret is safe with me. I'm not going to jail. Farewell, Poirot. Enjoy your victory.
Stop!
아이 자살하려고 그러네. 이씨.
No, Freya, don't jump. You're going to die.
I've made my choice. We'll let fate decide.
No!
아 이게 스토리가 근데 약간 약간 상식을 자극을
She
해요.
jumped off the train. Even if she hit the water, considering the height, I doubt she survived. And with this tunnel, either way, she's gone, Poirot.
아 그러면 얘가 뛰어내린 이유도 결국에는 데이지 사건의 그 유가족들이 저지른 범죄를 경찰에게 넘기지 않기 위해서 얘가 뛰어내렸다고 봐야 되거든 스토리가. 이 작가가 말하는 거는 데이지 사건은 너무 마음 아픈 사건이니까 그들이 레칫을 죽인 거에 대한 거는 정당화돼야 된다는 식이야. 이게 완전 이게 그들을 어떻게든 지켜주려고 그러잖아.
Will be that I couldn't bring Ratchet to justice, but I can finally close this chapter of my life.
Your determination paid off. You can be proud of yourself.
I think we'll be arriving in Paris soon.
If you will pardon me,
그러면은
Detective
닐스는
Locke, I
뭐
have
닐스는
to settle
깜빵
a
가도
few
되고 얘네들은
details
깜빵
with
가면 안
Monsieur
되는 거야?
Luke
이거
before
졸라
we
어이가 없네.
Please, go ahead.
다 범죄자인데 씨발.
I still can't believe Freya was the killer. She never even cheated when we
그게
played poker.
결국에는 프레야만 살인범이야. 나머지는 아니고 씨발. 이미 죽은 사람한테 찔렀다 이거지.
Were divine.
이거 존나 스토리가.
Unfortunately, her actions were not so divine.
There you are, my friend.
Look, I have a favor to ask.
Anything.
When we arrive in Paris, will you speak to the police? I would rather keep a low profile.
But why?
Book, my first solution was incorrect.
Nonsense. The nuttier the mystery became, the greater your brilliance.
Please.
Very well, if you insist.
I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your service. The cuisine. Under difficult conditions, you surpass the reputation of the Orient Express.
That is true.
I look forward to seeing you again abroad, Monsieur Poirot. I promise, not all of our trips are this eventful.
Princess Dragomirov would like a word with you, Monsieur Poirot. It is important. She is waiting for you in her compartment.
When a princess summons me, how can I refuse? Count Andreny, how is the Countess?
Much better now that it's all over. I misjudged you, Poirot.
And I you.
There is something else about my wife you should know. Why I am so overprotective.
She is pregnant.
You are quite the detective.
Actually, Dr. Constantine told me. She admitted as much when he was attending to her.
If it's a girl, we're going to name her Daisy. If it's a boy,
Hercule?
he'll be stuck with Rudolph. It's a family tradition.
I wish you and all of your family
Oh,
much
Rudolph.
happiness.
Thank you.
루돌프라고? 지 이름이 루돌프 아니야?
My daughter, my great friend, and I wanted to talk to you one last time. I speak on behalf of the entire Armstrong family, as well as those close to us. You have shown compassion. We know your reputation, and we understand that your choice was not easy for you. We are all the more grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, my dear. You managed to say the word thank you, although he did manage to put us through quite a lot.
You have given us all closure and some peace of mind.
You should know that I regret nothing. If this Freya Nielsen person had not been involved, I would have done it again.
Someone told me the Stalinists were frightened of you. I believe them.
The country of my birth breeds its share of brutes and bullies, but also some of the greatest intellectual and artistic minds the world has ever known. I pray that one day we will again be remembered for that.
I share your hope, Princess.
And of course, with the real murderer of that man out there somewhere, we are no longer guilty of much. Correct?
Princess, don't push your luck too far. If you'll excuse me.
저렇게 해서 무죄가
I
되는 게
have
말이 안 되지. 사치
Lady?
훼손죄인데.
At the end of this investigation, I still have my doubts. Did I make the right choice with the 12 self-proclaimed jurors? I
전혀
will
아니야.
always have doubts about my decision, but I intend to move on. As for Mademoiselle Nielsen, what would I have done if she had not escaped?
체포했을 것 같은데 이 새끼?
Having everyone arrested, I ignore the extenuating circumstances of the murders. What a dilemma.
얘 앞뒤가 안 맞는 애야. 얘 약간 그냥 지가 좋으면은 좋은 대로 하고 그냥
Judges often take motive into consideration when deciding
지가
the
믿고 싶으면
sentence
믿고
for crime.
봐주고 싶으면 봐주고 뭐 이런 놈이에요 이거.
Your job is to establish the facts, which you have done. The case has been
그리고 이제
solved.
합리화까지 하네 이 새끼.
Another already awaits you. It is the reason you were on
지가
this
부족했던
train.
거에 대해서도 합리화를 하고 있어.
Time to move on.
그리고 솔직히 이 주인공이 판단하는 거를 강요하지 않았다면 더 쉽게 범인을 찾았을 것 같은데 중간중간 얘 때문에 이 주인공이 하는 짓 때문에 중간중간에 생각 밖의 일로 벌어져가지고 계속 그걸 또 그렇게 해놓고 결국에 그 뒤에 가선 다시 플레이어가 생각하는 대로 가겠군. 확실한 건 얘는 홈즈보다 못난 탐정이야. 근데 자칭 세계 최고 탐정이라고 그러고 있는데 전혀 아닌 것 같아.
Golden moustache.
Very well.
Monsieur, you can't pass.
I hope you will travel with us again, Monsieur Poirot.
Monsieur Poirot, I spoke with my associates. I convinced them to give you a deal on our new Firenze SUV. No need to thank me. It's the least I could do.
That is very generous, but no, I do not drive.
You don't? What? But it's electric. It's good for the planet.
I am good for the planet, as long as I don't drive.
I don't understand. He refused. Exactly.
Poirot is a nasty man. Poirot is a nasty man.
I wonder where Princess Dragomiro. Have you lost something? May I help you?
Oh, Mr. Poirot, you have done so much already.
What is it you have lost?
My friends, we're traveling to Poland to help with children. We were to meet at an information booth. But where do I get information on how to find an information booth?
There is, I believe, an information booth just inside the main terminal.
Oh, thank you, sir. You are a great detective.
And you, madame, are a good soul. I will miss this train. News travels fast.
Hey, Poirot. Say, have you seen a scruffy little guy in a green trench coat?
I cannot say I have. Why?
He's my next case.
Another case? That was indeed fast.
The detective's gotta eat. You know what I mean.
I have some idea, yes.
Suspected embezzler. Traveling east, but not on the Orient Express. Say, you wouldn't be interested in teaming up, would you? Some good money in it.
I have had enough of trains for a while, thank you.
Okay, suit yourself. Mr. Poirot, Mr. McQueen here thinks he may know an attorney in the Berkshires who might need a gentleman's gentleman.
He's old school English. I think the clock stopped for him in 1934.
I hope it works out for you, Monsieur Masterman. What about you, Monsieur McQueen?
Well, back to law school for me, following my father's footsteps. We can take the train to St. Pancras, then the Piccadilly line to Heathrow and check out some flights.
Might as well. We're already packed.
I wish you both bonne chance.
아니 수염이 없는데? 이 게임 참 수염 참 찾기 힘드네.
Ah, Poirot. Mission accomplished. I have reported to the police that Freya Nielsen killed Hatchet and that she escaped. They're issuing an international arrest warrant. There's a canal that runs alongside the tracks where she jumped from the train. But they say there's little chance she survived. The police have questioned all of the passengers and crew, so for now, they are free to leave.
I gave them the results of my preliminary autopsy, and they have the report from the Venetian authorities. They were arguing about jurisdiction when I left.
Thank you, Doctor. You have been of inestimable help.
A fascinating case. I'm pleased I could assist you.
Mr. Poirot, it seems our paths part here. It was an honor and a pleasure to work with you.
And I am with you, Detective Locke. The case would have been impossible without your tenacity and dedication to finding the truth. You also proved to be an able con artist in Geneva.
You too. Thank you for everything. I'll never forget you.
And I shall always treasure our collaboration.
Well, that's that. I'm hungry. Let's go to the Wagon Rouge restaurant. They make an excellent leg of lamb.
But it's only 5:34 p.m. Is food all you really think about, my friend?
I'm the one inviting you. You've well deserved it.
I'm warning you, I'm not going to obtain for you a secret recipe this time.
Poirot, they make a chocolate mousse that is so creamy. It must have a secret ingredient in it.
The last recipe came from a murderer.
But it was...
아니 이렇게 해가지고 닐슨만 살인자 취급 존나 하고 나머지 저 씨발 일가족들은 뭐 그냥 아무것도 아닌 것처럼 이런 식으로 해버리고 끝나네. 씨발 결국엔 다 살인자인데 어차피. 또 쿠키가 있을까봐 못 끄겠어요. 크레딧 넘겨야 될 것 같습니다. 또 있네. 뭐가 있네. 아. 어? 안 끝났어? 파라시게 헤어릴때
Dear
작별
Poirot,
인사를 못 드렸군요.
I
세계
didn't really
최고
have time to say
탐정을
goodbye
이겼다고
when we
생각했는데
parted.
닐슨이잖아.
I thought I had beaten the greatest detective in the world. But you unmasked me. I still had my revenge, though. I even managed to help myself to a small amount of cash from Waddy's bag before you interrupted me in Venice. It will be enough to settle somewhere in a quiet little town where I will create delicacies for appreciative clients. You won't hear from me again, nor will Boop get any more of my recipes. Oh, and one last thing. You may not think so, but I truly believe Ratchet and Waddy got their just desserts. Regards, F.
You, mademoiselle, are entirely too pleased with yourself. You give clues no one could follow. Unless they are Hercule Poirot.
자, 이렇게 해서 엔딩을 봤습니다. 게임 뭐 나쁘지 않아요. 나쁘지 않습니다. 여태까지 나왔던 추리물들 중에서는 괜찮은 편이라고 생각해요. 여태 나왔던 추리물들 중에서 괜찮은 편이고, 스토리는 확실히 아가사 크리스티의 소설이라 그런지 스토리는 확실히 몰입감 있고 굉장히 재밌었고, 근데 아마 이거 스토리를 게임으로 변하는 과정에서 약간 그 과정에서의 좀 오류가 있는 것 같은데, 그런 부분이 좀 마음에 안 들긴 했어. 자, 아무튼 여기까지 해서 엔딩 받고 5시에 롤드컵 4강전, 우리 유일하게 올라간 한국팀 SK T1, 이젠 SK가 아니지, 아무튼 T1 페이커 응원하러 갑니다. 방종